funny enough, I only have one position on VIX, and it's working. Specifically today, it's working. So funny you mentioned that. Somebody was talking about VIX vol spread. Some of you guys kind of know. I mean, I've been trading for a long time, and I'll talk a little more about this, but I worked at like Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade for the better part of 15 years. So I've actually met many of you in the past as well. Anyway, if you guys know a little bit about me, I like volatility. So it's not I'm excited the market's selling off. I'm excited about volatility. I like two-sided trade. I like markets that go up and down. What's difficult to navigate is a market that's up every single day. There's much more like activity right now, and it's not just because of a down move. We're getting huge two-sided action, and that's the stuff that traders like myself we live for. And there could not be a better session than to talk about catapults. Like there just couldn't be a better session than today. Anyway, with that, so people ask me all the time a few informalities. Is this live? It's live. You're watching markets obviously live with me here. By the way, people also ask me all the time, which platform do I trade on? I trade a lot more today on Tasty Trade, but I still like the charts better on Thinkorswim. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry, I admit it. All right. I'm not a chart guy either, but I don't know. I'm so used to it. I spent, you know, most of my adult life on Thinkorswim, helped build some of the crap in here. If you want to blame somebody for this horrendous analyze tab, it's me. people people always complain about the analyze tab. I'm like, I resemble that remark. This thing is it's a lot of me in there. Anyway, with that, I like it. Making sure that everybody can hear me, see me okay. Again, we're in kind of a new piece of technology. So I wanted to make sure that everybody does see it okay. By the way, if you're not seeing things clearly, I'm actually going to bring this up. Not seeing stuff clearly, you can click the little sprocket right here and adjust. Okay, you can adjust your resolution a little higher. So if you don't like the view, change the view, man. Change the view. So you can absolutely do that. And again, I'm going to show you right now, and I figured I'd bring this up. See, I just made it crystal clear, except I'm showing the screen of my screen, and it's really going to freak everybody out. Anyway, with that being said, let's kind of officially get started here momentarily. Oh, one other thing I wanted to get to. Oh, check this out. By the way, right when we're live here, look at this. We're coming home. That line, I draw it every Friday. That would be the lower edge of expected move. And if we're going to see some sell side activity, we're going to come down. We're going to come through it. We're going to come right back, and we're going to skirt this line throughout the course of the trading session. Maybe get a bigger break later in the day. We'll see. But yes, I am giving you a little bit of a feel for what markets are going to look like expressly this morning. So we're very much at a critical juncture of this marketplace. Anyway, with that being said, I said we've kind of a packed house today. So welcome everybody. If this is your first time seeing me do a presentation, so you're coming in a rough day because it's hopping in this marketplace today. So now my positions are going to start catching stride. So we should start seeing some decent P&L. By the way, that's just in the Thinkorswim platform. We are rocking through and through on some of the positions. I am loaded right now for volatility in this marketplace. With that being said, some ticker symbols you guys would like to discuss today. I always come with examples. Okay, I've got ideas right now. There's ideas floating in the head, but I've got a couple of examples, a few ideas of what I want to trade. I want to know what you guys want. The only thing that I request, okay, is that whatever it is liquid. DJ was actually just saying Costco. Yeah, I'm on the dance floor to exit my Costco position already. I only put it on yesterday. So that one's on the dance floor for a pretty good gain. By the way, as I was saying, we come down, we're going to come back through. I'm going to kind of skirt this line throughout the course of the day. We'll see how this plays. Very critical area that markets are in right now. So yeah, again, if you have a few more symbols that you guys would like to discuss, by all means, fantastic. Okay. Todd H put in UVXY. Stay away from that instrument. In all seriousness, again, after 15 years in the brokerage world, that product is not good for retail traders. Not no bueno. I don't mind saying that either. Meta, done. XLU, I like it. Google, absolutely. Yeah, I like this. Okay. Amazon reports next week. I like it. I think we've got some great examples to actually go with. So without further ado, again, if you're unfamiliar, this is the Thinkorswim platform. This is the Tasty Trade platform. Kind of use them interchangeably. You can see I'm starting to allocate and execute into Tasty Trade significantly more often. But let's get a little bit more formal here today. Make sure everybody's tuned in, ready to go. So welcome everybody. Our official start time has come and gone, and that's okay because we've got a pretty packed house here. Probably going to spend the next hour, maybe even 90 minutes. I hope you guys don't mind. I like to go over. I'm just going to answer questions here. If you see me looking around a little bit, because I've got screens all around me, this is how I kind of set up for a little bit of a bigger session here, but I can absolutely read everything that you guys are saying kind of in real time. We will answer questions. If I don't answer them while I'm live, I'll actually answer them after the presentation. I'll literally type you guys answers. We've got plenty of people helping us, supporting us today. So again, welcome. My name is Don Kaufman. This is Catapult to Profits, STX Options. So Catapult to Profits. We call this the little risk, big profits trade. And one of the things I'm going to tell you about the trade and the style of trade I'm looking for right now is this is a trade that I am absolutely unequivocally trying to knock the cover off the ball. Okay. And that's something to think about. By the way, a risk disclosure, I spent 15 years in the brokerage business. I am out of the contest. I have been out of both Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade since 2015. So I am pleased to say I don't have to answer to the SEC and FINRA no more. A few housekeeping items to go over. Look, this is skill set. I'm going to go through a huge amount, literally huge amount in the next, let's say, 80, 90 minutes. Shut the door, turn off Skype chat, whatever else is distracting you. Close Facebook, get rid of Facebook permanently. My kids actually make fun of Facebook. They're like, Facebook? Anyway, phone's on silent mode. I'm checking my own phone over here. Silent mode, good. Definitely kick out the kids, the grandkids. The dog stays. All I'm saying is I'm going to go through a huge amount here. You took the time to be here. This is important. You're going to have to focus on it because I am going to show you how you can make returns like in Tesla, 161% return. Show you an Intel trade, 170% return. QQQ, 110% return. By the way, I will show you specifically and explicitly these particular trades. Like I'll actually show you where these trades are coming from. I'll show you what I have on right now. One of the things that I am adamant about, and before we go even into anything today, one of the things I'm just absolutely adamant about, everything I do here, okay? Everything I do here, not just today, but moving forward, everything is no holds barred. And what I mean by that is I show all of my positions, all of my accounts. Look, okay, a couple of $1 million spread through multitude of accounts. Okay. Anything I talk about, I trade. I don't talk with the mouth without executing on the platform, period. Like if it's something I'm going to talk about, okay, I don't vote with a hand. I vote by actually pressing and executing into the marketplace. That is important. When I say it's no hold barred, you get to see wins, losses, okay, and everything in between, whether it's here on the Thinkorswim platform, on Tasty. It's again what I term a no holds barred approach. If somebody's not willing to show you every detail of every single account, okay, and I do have a lot of them. I've got all kinds of accounts. I'm scrolling through here in terms of accounts. I do that so I can track portfolios separately. Like this Catapult portfolio, I'm tracking it in its autonomy so that we can keep it isolated. Anyway, by the way, remember what I was saying a moment ago? We were going to sell off, rally back up to the line, okay? I mean, verbatim, that's what happened. It sold off, came right back up, kind of skirting this line. We're going to stay within about a 15-point range now of this expected move, unless there's some news or geopolitical risk hits, but pretty important out there. in any regard, it's important that you guys know that you get to see everything that we do here. Okay. And it's just so important to me. By the way, our free gift to you, stay with me right until the end of the webcast. We will provide you precisely which products I trade. So you'll learn to follow which products are going to move the markets, the hot stocks in play. I always keep a very detailed watch list. The top of this watch list is always the same. The bottom of it, I'm constantly changing out stocks now. Ironically, I'm looking at interest rates quite readily as well. So by all means, over here, I've got some interest rate products in here. Anyway, with that being said, if you would like a copy of my watch list, stay with me right until the end of this. It's also some of the most viable candidates for, well, catapults, and I'll show you that watch list. Look, knowing the right products to trade helped me find the following winning trades. Here's actually a Boeing trade. If you look carefully, this was exited like 2 days ago. 32% return. Okay. That one didn't exactly hit the cover off the ball, but the funny thing is this one was a bunt. I got a little nervous. In the marketplace. It's good because the marketplace got a little bit nervous. I bailed out of this thing on the 15th. This is a Tesla trade, 161% return. Look, let's get down to business. This is why you're here. So we're going to talk extensively about the catapult and what the catapult is. We're going to give you a three-step approach to finding catapult trades. So I'm going to take you through these 3 steps again and again and again and again. So we're going to go through a multitude of examples. You're going to learn to trade the Magnificent 7 stocks without taking upfront costs. You know, it's ironic. The Magnificent 7, Tesla is not feeling so magnificent right now, is it? Okay, it's still part of it, but I think I'm going to have to change that in the slide deck. I'm kind of bothered. The Magnificent 5.5, because even Apple is like questionable at best. That Magnificent 5.5, without taking any upfront costs. Catapult trades. Okay, catapult trades aren't just ideal for the current market environment. They thrive in the midst of volatility. If you think this marketplace is going to get a little crazy, push aside the geopolitical risk. Think more about like interest rates and inflation. Look, we're going to find which tickers make the most viable catapult candidates. Before we go too deep, all right, and again, we're going to go pretty deep here. So before we go too deep, $2,000 is enough to trade this stuff. Like I don't want anybody to start thinking I have to have a ton of money to do this. I actually have one of the accounts set up over at Tasty with $5,000 in it. Period. It's a $5,000 account. I say 2,000 will suffice. Yeah, well, I threw 5,000 into an account because proof's in the pudding. So you can execute anything that I talk about here, okay, from a mobile device. So there's no need to be tied to a computer. Everything we discuss, okay, can be executed off mobile devices. You can even get text messages, obviously, over this. Trades are going to have minimal risk, minimal margin. Margin's not going to be a huge concern, and you're not going to need significant experience. We can have you up and running from what I would term 0 to your first trade in a couple of hours. So here's a little bit about me. Some of you are brand new. You don't even know what a Don Kaufman is. Speaking of myself in the third party. So again, welcome everybody. My name is Don Kaufman, and I watched order flow for 15 years. It is kind of in large part what brought me into this. So I have a pretty unique skill set. My unique skill set is, first, I got to see everything that you did for the better part of 15 years. You know, people think like working in a brokerage business is whatever, you're picking up the phone. It's not what I did. I was an executive inside of early days of Thinkorswim. So a little background on me. I grew up in this business. I had family that were market makers all the way back to the early 1970s. I mean, literally, okay, before I was born, I had family trading in Chicago. My uncle started a trading firm, O'Connor and Associates. You know, he sold it. It was a couple of $1 billion deal in the 1990s. The late 90s, I graduated school and I graduated college 3 weeks later. I was on the floor at the Chicago Board Options Exchange. I stayed there really a short time, you know, in the Chicago trading world. I didn't really love the professional trading world, but I was told from the get-go, get out of the trading world and get into the retail side. So I was approached by a couple of market makers. One of them by the name of Tom Sosnoff, and Tom Sosnoff said, "Look, We basically have a handful of people working with us. We want you to come on. You're, all of at the time I was 24 years old. They said we're going to put you in a position. You'll have your own group. By the way, by the time fast forward, I remember him. He's like, we'll put you in a position. You're 24. You'll have your own group. By the time I exited TD Ameritrade, there were 768 people in the organization. Not just just the division that we ran. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about. So I actually went on to work for Thinkorswim. I built their education division. I worked extensively on the trading application. I was on the executive team. We took the company public in 2007. I was there when TD Ameritrade bought us in 2009. If anybody's curious, one deal went off for about 600 billion. The other deal went off at about billion. Billion, by the way, with a B sounds easy today. It was 600 million. The second deal went off for about 700 million. I signed a 5-year lockup clause in 2010 when TD Ameritrade had closed the deal. I signed a 5-year lockup clause, kept me there to 2015, at which time I exited. Okay, and we launched where we are today. So that's a little bit about my background. The most important thing about my background is market making experience. Push that aside. It's the retail side. We studied millions of your trades. I mean, what we got to do on the executive side of TD Ameritrade specifically was we actually studied, okay, and looked at what worked and what did not in this business. And a lot of what you're going to learn here today, okay, comes from that exclusivity. And there's only literally a handful of people, okay, on the planet that ever had access to that kind of depth. We had the largest order flow in the entire retail world for the better part of 15 years in the option side of the business. By the way, if you ever need to get a hold of me after today, support at stxoptions.com. I still do some TV appearances. This is actually all the way, the last time I was in Chicago was 2019, which is crazy. It's the longest time I've gone without going to Chicago my whole life. Still do like a CNBC appearance once in a while. This is obviously one of the more memorable. They pitted myself against Kevin O'Leary. This is the cover of Investors Business Daily. This, I talk a lot about volatility and how I like volatility. Well, this is actually my quote. This has actually been the best year I've had since the financial crisis of 2008. This was actually back in December of 2022. 2022 was a rough year for many people. This is where I live, people. This is where I live. I like the volatility. Bring it on. How our members are doing. I'll just go, look, TheoTrade is a place with a comprehensive set of resources to study exceptional instructors, beginning with Don Kaufman. This gentleman has a PhD in quantitative economics, and I learned more about how the markets and the economy, okay, from listening to Don K than when the Fed spoke than I did my graduate studies. So onward. Market chaos, we're in it right now, okay? We're in it right now. I said this about 6 weeks ago. I was talking about we're in the threshold of market chaos. Now we're in it. When I said we're on the threshold, you could see it forthcoming as they were changing, the view of interest rates. But now we're full blown into it. One thing I want to point out: tech and AI, it's the market. Okay, if you're curious right now what the marketplace is doing, you look no further than Nvidia. Okay, I want to make a quick point with this market. The strategy that I'm going to talk about today, which is Catapult, is going to rely on some of the logic that I'm going to give you right here, right now. Look, what's this marketplace going to do? What is your thought of what this marketplace is going to do? Look, there's only one of two ways. We're either going down hard or we're going to rally right back to, all-time highs. I'm going to show you how to take both sides of that marketplace without, out-of-pocket costs. I'm going to say that again. But if you think that we are going down right now, and I want to make this crystal clear, if you think this marketplace is going to sell off, you got to look towards tech. Why? You realize that these stocks, are 1 or 2 days away from all-time highs. Look at Amazon, It just had its all-time high. It was like, a couple of days ago. You look at Microsoft, all right? A few days removed. Look, I know this is its all-time high, but it's a few days removed from an all-time high. You look at Meta. Oh, it's getting beaten up today. Yeah, and it's still 2 weeks removed from an all-time high. We haven't even begun to see sell-side activity. And if you're going to be taking positions in this marketplace, I'm going to tell you right now, that is the market right now. It's an election year. It's going to cause chaos. Not just yet. When we turn the corner into September, though, that's game on. The Fed's totally undecided. They don't know what they're doing. They're not even sure at this point. There's even discussion of rate hikes, okay, which you can't even believe. But they're undecided on inflation. There's an incredibly strong dollar, an incredibly weak bond market. Okay, everything that I'm pointing out over here, as I said, when I say an incredibly weak bond market, I'm not kidding. Bonds are tanking. The dollar, okay, the dollar has been ripping day in and day out. Strong dollar, okay, relatively strong gold. Dogs and cats living together. There's a lot going on right now. I don't want to call this, and geopolitical risks are obviously proliferating. I don't want to call it volatility. I think it's just we're in the midst of chaos, and this is where we live. And I say, game on, embrace it. You got to embrace it. By the way, this is the butterfly effect. It's butterfly effect. Look, you're going to need a strategy in this marketplace. Okay, you got to embrace the chaos. You got to embrace the volatility. Right? You can't rely on directional bias. I am picking on that right now because I am the first person to tell you. Okay, I started trading in 98, 3 weeks out of college. I went from ramen noodles to a trading floor. And in 25 years in this business, okay, I'm going to tell you right now, when you hit volatility, you got to forget about bias. You got to forget, like you can take positions, right? But it's so critical that you got to push that aside. Okay. You can be wrong and not lose money. You can be wrong on a product. Like, oh, I was so bearish in Meta. You're wrong and not lose money. It's critical. Can your strategy do this? Take a shot, be wrong and not lose money, because catapult can. And I want to stress that to you that, when you think of a catapult, there's a reason that we call it, the catapult, because we're going to put in NVIDIA and Amazon and Apple and Google and Tesla, and we're going to take shots. Okay. Some of it we're going to miss. We're going to swing for the fences, but I'm going to show you how to get the trade on in NVIDIA, okay, without having to take any dollars up front. Does that make sense? Okay. Does that make sense? I'm okay to go. All right. The genesis of the catapult trade. So I don't mind saying this. Okay. As a professional trader, I have been incredibly disciplined for many years. I'm a big time premium seller. Anybody know what premium sellers are? Okay. Anybody know what premium selling is? Premium selling is going out, selling out of the money options, managing risk. You're like, oh, yeah, I'm kind of familiar with that. But okay, when you sell options, you manage risk. It's pretty mundane. I have no problem saying, as a professional trader, I want to take moonshots. I love it. Okay. I like, going out there and swinging for the fences. People call, a 10 bagger or whatever. I don't like that phrase. I like moonshot. Okay. I like to take shots that are constantly, outside. And I don't mind swinging so hard that I strike out sometimes, because what I'm going to do, all right, is I'm going to take these moonshots, but I'm going to teach you how to finance the moonshot, right, which I'm going to talk about here. So doing this trade effectively requires like a two-prong approach, right? I want to take these moonshots, because when I say a moonshot, like imagine you did a trade, and just listen to me really quick. Imagine you did a trade and you risked $1 to be able to make 5. That's the kind of crap I'm talking about. Or I risk $1 to be able to make 10, and you just swinging for the fences with that trade, right? The problem is with that trade, it eats at my psyche. It totally eats at my psyche. And some people, like, look, I don't usually go down the psychological rabbit hole too often. But some people would have to agree. You go out, you take a shot. You go out, you take a shot, you go out, you take a shot, and you strike out, and you strike out, and you strike out 3 times in a row. Psychologically, you're like, that just cost me like $2,000 and I haven't made anything off of it. That's why I need to finance my moonshots. That's the genesis of Catapult. Like, if people really want to know where this trade comes from, okay, it's about taking the moonshot trade. But at the same time, it's getting through the psychological impact of being wrong. It's okay to be wrong as long as you didn't pay for it. Why? Okay, because I'm going to actually take a shot and use house money to finance it. So take a trade in Amazon. Like, we could take a trade in Amazon. I don't know why I'm picking Amazon. Amazon has earnings coming up, but you can do it with nominal risk. Like Tesla. And I love mentioning Tesla. Tesla's a wild child. Like Tesla, this thing can't catch a bid. Like, no one wants to buy it right now. Oh, one loves me. Okay. But think about this. Imagine you had a wildly bullish trade on Tesla. Everybody's like, oh, I'm sorry, Don. The chart says it's very bearish right now. I would agree with you, but its earnings are coming up. Its earnings are coming up. What happens if it pops to the upside? Because Tesla, just bear with me for a second, this part is important. Tesla is projecting a $15 move off of its earnings. Look who has a position on it. I do. Why? And my position on there is bullish. And you're like, oh, you were so wrong. Maybe I am wrong. Don't worry. Okay. I have zero risk in the trade. I didn't pay a dime for it. I'm going to show you exactly the trade I did. Okay. That's so important. Okay. Because it's a wild child. But if it hits on earnings, it's gold, Jerry. NVIDIA is just a bag full of risk. You're going to enter it with confidence. Catapult can offset the upfront costs. So what are catapults? All right. So we're going to take the trade and not have that risk. What if we could 100% finance an NVIDIA trade, okay, and give you a free shot at a high flying stock? That's where the catapult comes in, right? That's what it's about. So learning to catapult your trades. And that's what it is. It's catapulting the trades. So what we're going to do, okay, it's put together what they term a combination trade. Okay, buy a trade while financing it with an ultra high probability trade. Now think about this in your head. You're kind of zoning in over here, right? We're going to have this ultra high probability trade. How high of a probability? Let's say it has a 97% chance associated with it. So we're going to do one trade here. There's a 97% chance. Okay. With the other trade, that's the shot. It's the cheap shot. The 97% chance trade just eventually evaporates. Why? Because there's a 97% chance. The other trade, okay, maybe it doesn't make money, but it was totally financed by this 97% trade. Two trades, one end goal. Okay. You receive a trade with minimal risk that is often a free ride in the markets. Okay. That is the idea here. And believe me, I'm going to take you through the logic of it. Okay. I'm going to take you through the logic of it. By the way, somebody was saying, I talked about this earlier. Did I work with Tom Sosnoff? Tom, okay, was my work wife for 10 years. I know more about him and his kids, well, as much about him and his kids, okay, as he was about mine. Yeah, Tom and I go back a very long time. Anyway, free ride in the marketplace is critical. So let's get into what I determine are steps. Okay, steps to be able to actually build a catapult. Now, these three steps, okay, simplistic. I'm going to explain them in a second. Simplistic as they may sound, you have to have, okay, this methodology, this logic. Okay, identify the ticker, trade with house money, execute the catapult. And you're like, what does that mean? Identify the ticker. What do you think it means? Okay, what do you want to trade? What do you want to trade? So I'm going to take you through this a little bit. If I said to you, hey, let's go out and let's trade, like somebody said Amazon. I don't want Amazon. I want Google. I'm all over Google right now. You know what? Some people are like, what about Apple? Okay, I could totally do Apple because Apple looks like, okay, if Apple does not have good earnings, oh, look at this. It's sitting there. It's like poised. If it breaks, it is over, baby. I mean, Apple could easily be a $150 product from where it is right now. Talk about a critical threshold. I like that one, but I like even better Google right now. You're like, why? Google is minutes removed from its all-time high. Isn't that crazy? You have a marketplace that's breaking down, but Google, unscathed, hasn't been touched, not even a scratch, right? If there's going to be a product that's going to come down, it's going to be Google. So you think about like identifying the ticker. By the way, I can use some analysis in there because what I'm also using, and I'm not really talking about, I'm using like auto expected moves. You realize Google has had multiple sequential weeks of hitting the expected move in here. Breach, okay, breach of the expected move. 3 out of the last 4 weeks has cracked the upper edge of the expected move. It has here too. It's just crazy, this move. And it's unscathed. I love unscathed because if you're going to take a shot and this marketplace is really going to come down, they are going to come for Google unequivocally. Identify the ticker. Let's say it's Google. Trade with house money. Explain that in just a second. And then execute. What's execute? Execute is the act of saying, do the Google trade against the house money trade. The Google trade is your moonshot against house money, right? So step number 1, identify the ticker. Identify the ticker, okay? And this is precisely why I'm providing my watch list. Trade Okay, what moves the markets? All right, I love this. I love this little like guy over here. Trade the most liquid stocks and ETFs. Use our proprietary expected move indicator. The expected move indicator, the only thing I wanted to show you, okay, on here is how wildly bullish everything that you've seen inside of Google has been. Okay. In most recent weeks, it's hitting like the upper threshold of what was expected. And it is in wildly overbought turf in a marketplace that's descending, okay, a bit more rapidly, right? In fact, something I was talking about when I started this broadcast, look where we are. This is also an expected move. This is verbatim what I told you would happen, okay, 20 minutes ago. Somebody says, oh man, that's pretty good. You should trade for a living. I know, I do. We sold off, we rallied up. Told you, we just skirt this line. If we break off of it, though, it would be a critically substantial break. Markets will go into a free-for-all here if we break below this expected move, in which case I'm working in order to close right now in Costco. In any regard, okay, look, identify the ticker. In this case, I'm going to use Google, okay? Now, I'll just remember that in my head, and we'll get to the trade in a moment. Step 2, trade with house money. Taking a moonshot, it's not gambling. The moonshot itself is the shot, okay, but it's not gambling because use the catapult to finance your trades with house money. Don't gamble. Don't roll the dice with out-of-pocket costs. Because if I did the Google trade, I'm going to tell you right now, I can tell you off the top of my head because earnings are coming next week. If I did a trade in Google, it'll cost me about $3.35 for the trade in Google for a $10 wide spread, okay? The question is, how do we finance the trades? We finance these trades with the highest probability trades, 95% plus. Most of the time, I'm in excess of 97% probability of making money. Okay. The trade that we use for house money, the trade, when I say for house money, the trade we use, okay, to create house money is going to have close to about a 97% probability, okay, in there. After that, execute, okay. Buy one trade, which is the Google moonshot, sell the other trade 95%. Okay. The trade we're buying is fully financed by the trade we're selling. Finally, okay, moonshots are fully financed. So what's the worst that can happen? If I do this Google trade, okay, versus this this Google trade, this moonshot trade versus the financier, what's the worst that can happen? Strike out? Let's say the market rallies back. That's happened before. Who cares? Golf clap. If the market rallies back, it's fine. We strike out. What do? Get right back up to the plate again. So what if you miss a trade? I'm going to do 50, 60 of these, moonshot trades this year. Okay. I'm going to strike out in a lot of them. But I'll tell you what, when I strike out and it doesn't cost me anything, okay, just get right back up to the plate. All right. When you're right, you're going to hit a home run. It's a moonshot. When you're wrong, no fear, catapult again. That's the way you need to be able to think in this position. It's so important that even in the midst of this volatility, you think through it. You have struck out before on trades, but now you need not pay for the mistakes. That's a critical juncture for you in this marketplace. Look, example 1, here's Tesla. Now I picked one, okay, that was a little ways back. And I started with this one because I figured it was like one of the most clean. It's 161% return. Okay. What did the trade, what did it cost over there? Like really, like this trade, it looks like $1.55. So if I did one contract, that would be $155. Just one contract. I don't have to do one contract. I could do 10 contracts, 20 contracts, whatever. Okay, it depends on the size of your account. If you have a $5,000 account or a $2,000 account, you do one contract. Why? Because it's only $155 trade, capable of being able to make, well, quite a substantial sum. Now, what's it cost to trade Tesla? Okay, what if we could actually trade Tesla for free? So that is the crux. Now we're coming to the juncture of like, hey, how do you find house money? 95% probability of profit offsets the volatility risk, will offset directional risk. IRAs can trade this. You can do this in an IRA, no question, and does not have any day trading margin regulations. By the way, we're not here to day trade. Okay. Yes, you can absolutely do this in a small Roth account. The Roth account, to be honest with you, got to have $5,000 in it. That is not my rule. Okay, that's actually FINRA SEC. So you can do this with as little as $5,000 in a Roth IRA, no problem. Okay, so IRAs can definitely trade these products. So the perfect trading world, okay, it does exist. Welcome to Micro E-mini S&P 500 options on futures. So I said option. I said the O word. So there's a few things you should know. Most traders, first of all, they have no idea what a Micro E-mini S&P 500 is, okay? Which in terms of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, they created this a couple of years ago, okay? It really kicked off right during COVID, like 4 years ago. And the CME group, right, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, created the micro S&P for retail traders. They always wanted to create something that was leveling the playing field between market makers and professionals and retail. Okay, this is actually your tool to finance other trades. You go, well, why do you like the micros? Let's show you the micros. Okay, so let's drag this bar to the side over here. Show you some micros. It's /MES. If you ever want the symbol, it's /MES. You can see I have a multitude of trades on the MES. Let's go over here to trade. Let us do this. Let's do this. Anyway, if I open up something that's like 93 days out, okay, these are the micros. I go, well, why the micros? Well, we're getting there, okay? We're getting there. That is the right question because it's a phenomenal tool, okay? It's a phenomenal tool. And the micros, all right, maybe you know nothing about them, okay? Micro options and futures. That's okay for today's session. We selected the micros because it can accommodate any account size. With $2,000 in your account, okay, IRA accounts, you can go out there and do anything you want. There's no restrictions and there's not a lot of margin, okay? The margin of micros is negligible. I'm going to say that again. The margin in micros is negligible. I have an account in here. I've got to dig it out. Bear with me for a second. I've got an account in here that's got a micro position on, okay? And I'm going to show you the margin. Okay, I'm going to show you the margin in here. Capital requirement is $1,700. You go, oh, that's eating almost a $2,000 account. Yeah, but there's 3 of them. I didn't trade one, I traded 3. That is gold, Jerry, it's gold. Think about that. So I'm trading a 3 lot. It's only tying up $1,600 of margin, okay? But it's financing another trade. So you can trade these in super small accounts, right? All right, so let's go forward a little bit. Now, this is the first time. Okay, this is the first time you're hearing this. Again, just don't panic. I just want you to grab big, broad strokes. You're trading this micro product. Why? Because I can do high probability trades on it, right? Okay, trades that are going to have like a 97% chance of making money. Okay, got that. I'm trading micros. Okay, why am I using this product that I'm not familiar with? Because it doesn't tie up margin. Because I spent 15 years in the brokerage world, and I know exactly how to circumnavigate margin restrictions. No one understands how to circumnavigate margin restrictions better than some executives at brokerage firms, because I did nothing but sit in on SEC and FINRA meetings and I go, oh, this product, okay, doesn't belong to SEC or FINRA. It belongs to the National Futures Association, okay? So they have nothing to say about it. Now, somebody said, E-Trade doesn't let me do this. Good, that's why you go buy. Okay, you got, I love them. Okay, have no love for your brokerage firm. Okay, commissions, it's flat across the playing field. And even Robinhood is starting to do this stuff. Even Robinhood is introducing futures and options on futures right now, specifically because of these micros. Okay, specifically because of them. By the way, I was in the brokerage world for 15 years. As Thinkorswim was sold, okay, some of my friends, some of my closest friends, one of my closest friends, her name is Mary Ryan. She actually runs a division of E-Trade. My other friend, Steve Quirk, he actually runs Robinhood. So Stephen Quirk actually runs brokerage ops for Robinhood. He's one under Vlad. Obviously, my other friends, Tom Sosnoff, okay, and JJ Kinahan, they run Tasty Trade, and I still have friends over at Schwab. Very few friends over at Schwab anymore, though. Everybody was like, get out when the getting was good. They give us good buyouts, very good buyouts. So it's important that you understand, why am I trading this product? Okay, after 15 years in the brokerage business, I've never seen anything like this for retail traders. It's phenomenal. So let's give you an example of how it works. If you're bullish on Microsoft, because we use our expected move. You can finance that versus the MES, execute the trade. Let's sketch out the details, okay, of all of this. So I'll tell you what. Do you want to be bullish on Microsoft? Does that bother anybody? Yeah, I'll sketch out the details on Microsoft. I'm going to sketch this out on Microsoft, as painful as that may be. Okay. Or would you rather sketch it out on Tesla? You guys want to sketch out a bullish trade on Microsoft? Bullish trade on Microsoft. Okay. Or would you rather do it on Tesla? What do you guys think? You guys let me know. Because I had my example. I'm like, I'll do Microsoft. Everybody knows Microsoft. But now I'm thinking Tesla. Okay. I'll do this initially as if it were Tesla. Okay. But anyway, here's what the trade breaks down to. So there are 3 steps that we want to establish. Okay. What are the 3 steps that we want to establish? I got my little drawing tool over here. The first one we want to do is figure out, okay, the ticker to trade. In this case, we could say it's Tesla. All right. So Tesla. So I'm going to go out. Okay, and I'm going to find Tesla and I'm going to look at it and I'll show it in just a moment. Number 2, okay, is going to be house money, finding the house money, which is going to be the what? MES. Number 3, okay, execute. All right, we're going to execute the trade. Sorry, I can't write in this thing. So let me show you exactly what that actually looks like. In the first trade that we're going to do, this is a distribution curve, right? And I'm just going to explain it. This is, I'm going to explain the catapult, but then I'm going to show you a real catapult. You guys ready? So I'm going to explain the catapult in a nutshell. This is a stock. And by the way, every fictitious stock, this one will be fictitious to begin with. Every stock, okay, I call stock. Okay, why? Because I don't get out very often. Stock. And stock is trading for exactly $100. Now, what can stock do? Stock can go up to 110, but it could also go down to 90. It can go up to 120, but it can go down to 80. Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't even know. But I just want to show you, it's a distribution curve. So let's say that, you know, prices distribute basically evenly. So you can go up, we can go down. We can go way up, we can go way down. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put what I term a moonshot trade. Okay, this is the genesis of the trade. This is the reason. I'm going to put that moonshot right here. I'm going to put the moonshot trade right here, right around that 110. Okay. Consequently, I'm also going to go out and I'm going to sell an MES all the way out here. What's all the way out here? We're going to say 130. Okay. Done. That's the trade. It's been executed. Moonshot goes on, then I sell the MES. Moonshot MES. Moonshot MES. Okay, the moonshot trade, you can call this Tesla, you can call it stock, you can call it Joe's tree cutting service. I don't care. But look at the trade. What can happen to the marketplace? So the marketplace could sell off. And if the marketplace sells off, this is a bullish trade. What happens to the bullish trade? It's dead. Okay, the moonshot trade goes to 0. The selling of the MES, okay, it's covered, meaning it's bought back. You're profitable here, but this trade financed this trade. Everybody good with that? Yes, because if we go down, we go down. It is what it is. I took my shot, didn't pay off. Okay, right? Took my shot, didn't pay off. And the moonshot didn't work. Sorry. Okay, what else could happen? Well, let's look at it another way. Let's say the market actually rallied and rallied and rallied and stopped right here. The moonshot didn't work. Didn't work. It happens. It didn't work. The MES trade still finances the moonshot trade. We're out. Nothing happened. Okay, so it's, you know, checkmate, but nothing happened. I didn't lose any money. Now let's get crazy. Market actually rallies. The market rallies big. Moonshot trade, it's a home run. Even if the moonshot trade's a home run, you're like, oh, it's threatening. It's threatening. This trade still has, okay, greater than a 97% probability, okay, of making money. It's still going to finance the moonshot trade. Now, if somebody says, whoa, if we keep rallying all the way over here, the moonshot trade can actually be moved if we need it. You can take profitability off the moonshot trade, readjust the moonshot trade to the 120 level. No problem, okay? What you're basically doing is financing, okay, the moonshot. You're financing trade number 1, okay, with trade number 2. And even if trade number 1 goes well, what happens if trade number 2 doesn't go well, okay? Trade number 1 is going to be the financier, like this trade number 2, that's the financier. You can cover all the risk with the moonshot. It is critical to understand that it is a 1-2 punch, that the trades are put on, okay, and taken off as a package. It's kind of cool. Look, here's actually March 5th, put on the Microsoft spreads, okay? From my example video last Friday, pretty much paid for the course today. That comes from Shane. This one, okay, this is actually one literally from this morning. So, okay, closed the QQQ spread for a nice profit yesterday between my classes. Used my iPad. Doesn't get much better than that. And I wanted to share that with you because this is one of the latest trades I've actually had on. So we're going to go forward. Don't think I'm not done with examples yet because people are looking at this. This is an Intel spread. This is actually an Intel spread where I went out, bought for 74 cents. But I'm going to be clear. The whole 74 cents was completely financed. So basically, it got a free run on $2. It's 170% return. But the way I calculate returns on here, I calculate the 170% return as if I actually did pay for the trade. And this trade, though, was 100% financed, okay, on this particular Intel trade. Next example over here, this is the QQQ. So inside the QQQ, right, paid 88 cents for the trade, got out of it for $1.85. Right? It's 110% return. This 88 cents was completely financed by the house money, right? Here's another one, XRT. And the XRT, what did I do? Paid 70 cents for the trade, out for $1.32. Again, 100% financed. Okay, this is an 89% return. The critical portion over here, to me, it's not even the return on the spread, okay? It's the fact that they're fully financed. The fact that I had free rides on this, okay? This is why I want to catapult the profits, create dramatic opportunity with extraordinarily limited risk. Uses house money to finance expected move trade setups. Okay, never need to buy or sell the stock, and you can be wrong in market direction and produce profitable trades. Right? Look, Catapult can potentially bring in significant returns while minimizing your risk. I'm going to go to one more example because I promised everybody I would do something like in Tesla. And the reason I wanted to do something in Tesla, okay, Tesla at this point, just hear me out for a second, and we're going to jump right back into this. Look, Tesla at this point almost looks like a lost cause. You're like, they're out of business. This is the perfect place, though, to take the shot. It's a perfect place. The question that everybody has, you want to be bullish or bearish? I got to tell you something on this one, okay? I got to tell you something on this one. So in thinking of the steps, this is the ticker I want to trade. So step number one, this is the ticker, okay? So I've got this Tesla trade, and I want to go out there, and I'm going to tell you right now, people are like, why would you want to be bullish? Because the bullish side of the trade, okay, is probably going to trade pretty cheap relative to some of the risks out there. Why? Because this thing is just, it's breaking down and breaking down and breaking down week in and week out. Nobody wants to touch it. So you can see I've got one 30 days out, but let's get crazy. Let's get crazy. We can go even further out in time. I'm going to open up a few more strikes. I'm just going to show you. Okay, a few more strikes out here. Go a little further out in time, all the way out. Look at this. Okay, and I'm actually going to build a nice, okay, inexpensive trade. So what am I doing over here? That trade basically has $1 of risk. It has $1 of risk. That is, okay, the moonshot. It has $1 risk. What can it make? It can make as much as $5, of which you paid $1 up front. So you're thinking though, oh, it can only make, okay, $4. It's not true. I'm going to take that $1. I'm going to finance it. You go, please, man, how can you finance that trade? How can you finance it? How about if I come over here, type in /MES. Okay, let's close up this left side bar. So I can fully finance this trade. I'm actually going to show you. You can even place the trades at the same time. I can show you how to finance the trade. Okay, I'm going to open up a ton of strikes. Just make a very, very quick point. Okay, Tesla is not, okay, a cheap trade. What I mean what I mean is when I go out here and want to finance it, okay, I got to go out. I may have to actually sell a few positions in here. Okay, this trade is fully financed. Trade number one, okay, will cost me $105. Trade number two, I'll be bringing in $200. You go, whoa, okay. Yeah, on the $200 trade, I only have to collect 50% on there, okay? Done. That's it. That's how quick I can put together a catapult. Trade one is fully financed by trade number two. In fact, okay, trade one, like let's say Tesla rallies up, the marketplace rallies up, okay, it is as clean as can be. But I know people are looking at this and going like, oh, that's a call he sold. The 5650s, the market would have to rally, okay, 600 S&P points. And if it did so, the Tesla trade is going to make a lot of money in there, okay? This is Catapult. And that's how quickly we can put together a Catapult. Catapult, again, can bring in significant returns while minimizing risk. That was a bullish trade. Could I do one bearish? Of course. I could do one Google bearish. Okay. There's another one I've been looking at lately, and I executed into this yesterday. What's the one I'm looking at? The XLF, the financials. Financials are getting annihilated lately. They're getting annihilated inside of the financials. You go, why would you want to get into the financials? I'm going to show you exactly why. Okay. This is the stuff I get excited about. The financials, okay, are getting annihilated. If the market's going to rally back, it has to be financials that takes us back up. There's no way. Technology alone couldn't do it. The financials, when I say they've been annihilated, financials are almost in full-blown corrective territory. On a year-to-date basis, they were up almost 12%. Okay, now they're only up 5%. We're almost in a correction over here, right? So this would have to rally back up. So I went out, okay, put on the trade. Now, how did I know? Apologize. I went out and put on the trade. How did I know financials? Auto expected move, cracking the lower edge of expected move, okay, in several consecutive weeks. Look how big these breaches are in here. It becomes, okay, like the preeminent indicator for these trades, all right? That's why I want to do stuff like this. And again, you can do this in retirement accounts as well. If you don't have a lot of time, it's not going to be a huge issue. The trade results we're showing, this is perfect, okay, as hands off. We're taking shots. Put the trade on, walk away. It's not just going to materialize overnight. Catapults are hands off. You can even use GTC, which means good till canceled. For those of you that don't know what GTC is, again, it's good till canceled orders. So you can set up the trade, okay, by hand, but then set up a GTC to be able to exit. So even if a fraction of your time is enough to see results, okay? Again, I stress to you, Catapult provides real-time trade alerts. So what we do is when I execute, okay, when I execute a trade, it literally, okay, has a little algo on the back end of Tasty Trade that we built, okay, with what's called an API, and that thing will actually send you out a text message. So real-time trade alerts are on there. It sends it out text, email, it's great. All right, what better time? If you don't have a lot of time to learn a new skill set, follow the real-time trade alerts. I'm going to tell you, even if you do have time, follow the real-time trade alerts. Okay, I'm pretty good at taking these shots. Markets could be in bouts of volatility for years right now, and we do look like some pretty significant volatility is starting to emerge. Look, some characteristics of this trade. The attributes of Catapult's undeniable. You never have to buy or sell the stock. Risk is limited to precisely your comfort level. Okay, you will not use a stop order. You can vary time frames, minimize your risk. So what that basically means, no stop orders. I don't want to hear about that. Vary time frames, minimize your risk. That means you could trade Tesla in different time frames. You could literally trade the same underlying. You could be both bullish and bearish on the same underlying. Take moonshots without absorbing more risk. That's how you get the Tesla trade where you're risking $1 to be able to make 5, right? It's an excellent tool for those seeking returns to build an account, but it's a great tool for volatile times. And you can do this in retirement accounts. Look, Catapult to profits. Let Catapult alerts do the work for you. The only barrier to entry here, you need a $2,000 account. And that's not our rule, okay? That's actually on the regulatory side, okay? Learn to catapult your trading results. You need catapults for the foreseeable market future. You know, I don't often say this. I can't tell you, okay, what the remainder of this year is going to look like. Nobody can. Not at Goldman Sachs. You know, there's no secret computer down in the basement over there that's running markets. But the only thing I can tell you without unequivocation, it's going to be volatile time. All right, this summer, it's going to be the summer doldrums. Oh, no, it's not. I mean, everything from geopolitical risk to oil prices to inflationary pressures. Then you're going to be talking about an election, dogs and cats living together. There's probably 50 other catalysts that are going to come into play that I can't even fathom at this point. I'm telling you, you're going to need trades like this, okay, to thrive in this marketplace. And we can show you how and when to do this. in a matter of a couple of hours. Come learn everything you need to know about options. More importantly, Catapult produces real-time trade alerts. This is what you're going to need to know to successfully catapult to profits. Like if you're thinking about like a checklist, okay, you're going to need to know what underlying stocks or indices make the best catapults. And that's something I'm going to tell you, look, I give you the watch list. I'm giving you the watch list today. I'll literally give you my watch list so that you guys can actually look through my watch list and say, oh, that's the kind of stuff he trades, right? Okay, you got to know what the micro E-mini S&P 500 option expirations. You got to know more about the minis. You got to know more about the micros. You know, this is a product that maybe a handful of you might be familiar with. And if you are familiar with micros, okay, it's probably because you knew me. Okay, I mean this, you know, it's a product that I feel so strongly about. It's what you want to do as a retail trader. Okay, what should be the delta of the option I sell? And you're like, what? Okay, it's probability. Delta's probability. You know, one of the cool things, a lot of people don't know about some of the features like in Tasty. Okay, this is why I use Tasty now more and more and more. Okay, I'm going to show you something so cool that a lot of people don't even know exists. Inside of Tasty, if I sell something in here, it has right there, it says P50. P50. What does that say? It says 99%. Actually, it says greater than 99%. You want to know what that is? That's the probability of making 50% or more. It's actually a p-value. There's not another brokerage platform in the world that has that on there. Okay. It's such a cool thing because we're selling way out of the money options to finance. Our house money trade has a p-value greater than 97%. Pretty cool. And again, we use and lean on that technology. So I don't want you to think you don't have to go out and buy some like fancy trading stuff. Forget all that garbage. We'll give you the exact option to sell. What options do I buy against my position? Like how many? How many of these options do I sell versus how many do I buy? You got to be on the sell side and the buy side of the trade. Okay. How do I build my position? Do I need a large amount of capital in my account to do this? Absolutely not. And what are the percentage returns supposed to be? Like how much am I supposed to make? Well, I can tell you right now in the house money trade, you need only make 50% because once you cover for 50% of the trade is free. Free ride. Let me show you exactly what we do here at STX Options. By the way, STX, what does it stand for? St. Croix. So during the pandemic, I picked up, moved the family. We moved all of TheoTrade and STX Options to the island of St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Why? Because it's a trader's paradise, people. Okay. We create recipes in trading here so you can catapult to profits. Okay. And now real-time catapult alerts when trade opportunities arise. We aim to do approximately one trade every week. Like this week, this is an opportunistic week. I already fired one in the XLF yesterday. May actually pop another trade off probably tomorrow or Friday. But again, we aim to do one trade a week with our catapult alerts. Look, trading's all about answering the what ifs. What might be a good stock ETF candidate, you know, for catapult profits? What's the correct options expiration cycle to sell my options in? Like a moment ago, you saw me use the micro and I went a little further out in time. So what is the right expiration cycle? How much capital do I commit? All right. Maybe. Okay. What strike options do I sell? What strike options do I buy? How can I limit my risk? All the different odds and ends, because Catapult has your answers to trade alerts. Okay. You got to understand that we build recipes with definitive criteria. We build checklists. One of the things that we do, okay, and have done for years is these very, very definitive checklists. What I mean by that is, you know, if you hopped into the cockpit, okay, of a Boeing 737, God forbid, okay, it's, you know, it's sad that I have to say that today. Let's talk about an Airbus. If you hopped into the cockpit of an Airbus, okay, something that's more, you know, flight worthy, you hopped into the cockpit of an Airbus. Nobody looks and goes to the back, goes, sit down, we're going, throttle up, and takes off. They go through, you know, these pilots and co-pilots go through very definitive checklists. You know, they actually go through, and there's no differentiating factor here. We go through a detailed checklist. I sit there every time I'm doing a catapult Does it fit my volatility criteria? Does it actually fit the fact that if, is it going to have a catalyst like earnings in Tesla? Okay. Does it have the right strikes that I need, the right expiration? Is there a dividend coming in there? All of these pieces of criteria, every unique variable that I could possibly encounter. And that's just getting into the trade. Then we actually are in the trade. You got to look, what if the market goes up? What if the market goes down? What we do, here at STX is we go through all the checklist. And, people said for years, they're like, well, you guys are really good at teaching like the checklist, but the checklist is the checklist. Why don't you just, send us the trade? And we're like, yes, okay, that works. And we actually launched STX options because STX options, does catapult alerts. We go through the criteria, we execute the trades. Why not? We built an algorithm that reads the trades that I do and immediately sends them out on email and text message. And again, we're taking this catapult a step beyond. We now fire those alerts. Catapult is the answer to your questions. We'll give you the right probability of the trade. We'll give you how many option contracts do you trade in your account. When do I close it? What if we sell off big? What if we bail out of the trade? What if we rally massively? Can I fix a losing position? It's the how, it's the when, it's the why, it's at what price. And I'm telling you right now, it is just the beginning of the variables that you're going to face while catapulting to profits. Look, you can read what catapults are. You might even know how to build a couple trades. Like everybody has access to Google. You can use Chat GPT. Nothing comes close, though, to the power of catapult. Nothing comes close to the criteria of catapult. You can read 10,000 different pages on Google on selling options and buying stuff in there. Not one of them is going to have the definitive criteria, the trade alerts that we're going to provide over here. You need catapult alerts, 25 plus years trading experience. That's just me. Access to client order flow for 15 years. We literally viewed and studied millions of trading accounts for 15 years. We know exactly what works and what doesn't. And I ran education both at Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade for 15 years. At the time, we had the largest option order flow in the entire industry. That is where, this criteria comes from. And Catapult Alerts is your recipe for success. We spend years fine-tuning catapults, fine-tuning the trade setup, the criteria. And now, for the first time, we are presenting to you real-time alerts on the convenience, of any mobile device. Catapult alerts. I am the trader, for this portfolio. Catapult trades, catapult to profits, 5-week mastermind, a 6-week trader by your side, weekly trade ideas, up to 52 trades a year, text and email trade notification, trade alerts for a full year. It's 12 months. That is brand new. It's stxoptions.com/cat. Put the link in there. It's $19.97. Now, I'm going to go through a couple of details in here because I'm not even close to done. Is people are like, well, what's a 5-week mastermind? What's 6-week trader by your side? Look, we don't, it's $19.97, kick you out the door and start sending you alerts. That's not right. You got to get ramped up for this. We want to make sure that you are comfortable understanding the risks and rewards of this particular trade. You want success, put in a little bit of time. I'm not asking for a huge amount of time. Watch a couple of videos, get your feet under you. It's 6-week trader by your side. What is that? That's actually 6 weeks, where at a set time, you can go in there and listen to a gentleman by the name of Brandon Chapman, who's going to walk you through every detail of the catapult. But more importantly, he's going to trade, be by your side to answer any questions. We've also got a 5-week mastermind that is done on demand. That's me. It's actually the catapult course to teach you, soup to nuts from beginning to end, of every nuance of this particular trade. Then we go in here and do weekly trade ideas, but it doesn't stop there. We also have, monthly sessions where I come on and I talk about every single trade, that we're going to do. And you start to break down 52 trades, in a year. It's $19.97. We're giving the course Trader by Your Side. I mean, these mentorships, I'm going to talk about them right now. So bear with me here for a moment. Catapult alerts. I happen to be the trader for the portfolio. You get to see me trade and discuss positions like never before. So you're getting catapult trade ideas on a weekly basis. I sent one out this week already. You are welcome to still place that. I'm probably going to send another one. The one that I did this week, specifically is in XLF. It's in the financials. It's in the financials. It was a lovely opportunity. The trade that's financing it is already making 25%. So if that makes just a little bit more, if I make a little bit more on this trade, that's it. I take the MES off, and then the XLF is left for the next 93 days. That is what's so cool about the position. So no holds barred trading approach. You get to see everything we do. Full disclosure, all trades, opening, closing, hedging positions, all accounts are welcome. Margin, IRA, minimum is $2,000. Now, first bonus. There is a 5-week catapult mastermind. That's me. 5-week mastermind. It's on demand. You start watching it. Literally, you can start watching it today. Gives the logic and formula behind catapults. It has all the step-by-step criteria. Because some of you are like, I'll just eat the sausage. Some of you want to crack open the sausage and know how the sausage is made. It doesn't matter where you might fit in that spectrum. I know we've got a lot of people in here. Engineers. Anybody? How many engineers do we have in here? If you're the engineer, you're the individual that needs to know how the sausage is made. That's exactly what I'm going to cover in here. Because people get a little nervous. Like, what if we do this in the market? And what if we do this in the market? And what if Tesla goes up and the market goes down? And what can happen here? Every variable is covered in the 5-week Catapult Mastermind. It's on demand. You can start watching it immediately. You get to watch live trades being executed. Follow along. Direct access to me in live. Chat or email. You can email me. And when you say you can email me, STX Options. It's just support at stxoptions.com. It's a very small group learning environment. All sessions recorded and archived. Everything is already archived. This is a $2,000 value. We threw it in. So not only are you getting the trade alerts, which easily are $2,000, we put together a full 5-week mastermind and put it on demand. We're not done. Bonus number 2, there's a micro options revolution. Some of you are not familiar, and some of you are coming today and be like, man, I've been trading for years and I've heard of this, but I don't really know anything about it. What I'm talking about is the /MES. That's the micro. I put together an entire course for micros just as an introduction to what the micro is. It gives you the in and outs of why we use micros, and it's a really cool course. I threw it in here. It's another $300 value. You'll uncover how to use micros in many of your trading ideas, not just for catapults, not just limited to that. This bonus, the second bonus, this is worth going through if you're going to be in markets, period, right? And these can definitely be traded in IRAs, no problem whatsoever. Small accounts, $2,000 and greater. All right, bonus number 3. This is the 6-week catapult trader by your side. This is Brandon Chapman, expert guidance. Brandon Chapman, industry expert. Brandon actually worked with me all the way back in the Thinkorswim TD Ameritrade years. Worked in the group. He's going to give you a full-blown Q&A session, guide you through the world of catapult trading. This is after you listen to the 5-week mastermind, gives you extra support. It kicks off. This one is live. It kicks off April 23rd. When is that? Basically a week out. I think that's Tuesday. It's another $1,000 value. We just packed this. Bonus number 4, monthly catapult live alerts. This will be booked. I think the first one's actually coming in like the 29th, I want to say. I think we're on April 29th. April 29th, we're actually going to have, the catapult monthly review. That will actually designate, once a month, right at the end of the month, we go through, give you all the details regarding any of the trades I have on. You get to ask questions. Specifically, it's a very, very small group, and it's ongoing management of catapults. It's a $3,000 value because this doesn't just give you like, oh, we come on there, do a little song and dance. You get one-to-one support in here, and everybody from our group. It's not just Don live. Everybody. It's myself. It's Brandon Chapman. It's Todd Sweet, who's a former market maker. We actually bring on Blake Young. All of us, are here to support it. It's another $3,000 value packed in over here. Again, this is all the bonuses in here. Again, catapult alerts. It's STX Options catapultalerts.com/cat. Again, it's 1997. But go any further, okay? There's a full money back guarantee on all of it. You guys can, hop in here. You can check out, okay, some of the catapults. You can listen to the 5-week mastermind. You can actually join Brandon Chapman. Doesn't matter. There's still a money back guarantee on it. The one thing that I'm so specific about, look, we want people that want to be here. It's a no stipulations money back guarantee. You don't have to trade. You don't have to do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. Don't worry about it. Look, just go to support@stxoptions.com. If you're not comfortable at any time in the 90 days, receive a full refund. Okay. It's only $19.97. That is, okay, dirt cheap for the fact that we're actually providing, 50 plus trade ideas. We're giving everybody, courses in it. The mentorships are extraordinarily expensive for us to host. So again, it's stxoptions.com/cat. This is STX Options. Okay. Here's actually the page, and I do want to throw this up here so everybody sees it. stxoptions.com/cat. That's C as in cat, A as in cat. It's C as in cat, A as in apple, T as in Tom. So it's stxoptions.com/cat. Again, includes all the bonuses over here. By the way, one thing I want to mention, when you guys are filling out the information, put a valid phone number, please, because that's what we will text message. We can text message Canada as well. Somebody says, I don't have that. I'm over in Singapore. It's okay. We'll actually do email. The other thing is this, 1997. If, you're interested in a payment option, if you're interested in a payment option, you can actually call our account rep, 623-244-5657. I'll say it again, 623-244-5657. By the way, with that, we're answering questions right now in the live chat room. But if you want somebody to talk to, there's just individuals that are more comfortable, doing stuff over the phone. I get it. The thing is, like in today's world, I feel like you can't call anybody. We're not like that at all. We're actually like, man, the phone's over here. So 623-244-5657. We are adamant about that because I feel like everywhere, like you can't even call your brokerage firm and talk to them. Like even if you call one of your friends, they don't even want to answer the phone. They just text me, man, just text me. We pick up the phone. It's important that you guys know that. Again, I want to reiterate, there's a full money back guarantee. There's no stipulation. Somebody just asked a question about that. There's no excuses, no questions, no commentary. Look, it's 1997. And I keep reiterating this point. We want people that want to be here. We want people that want to trade this stuff. Okay. We walk through everything with you in this, of course, this Catapult Mastermind. The 5 weeks, we literally say, like, in terms of even allocation, how much money should I have at risk? If I have a $5,000 or $10,000 account, okay. By the way, the strategy, you can trade millions in this easily. So it's kind of cool because we can morph the strategy for, a $2,000 account and still make it applicable though to a multi-million-dollar account. And if you have, some size, okay, to trade, by all means, email me. We'll even catch you, on a one-to-one in an email over there. So again, it's important everybody knows there's a 90-day money back guarantee in there. Again, it's stxoptions.com/cat. At 1997 though, there's another trade alert service that provides this level of support. One of the things we also do, we answer emails. Okay, you can email us anytime, receive a response within 24 hours. Okay, bar none, we answer most of the emails within a few minutes. With that, onward over here, again, if you need us, or if you're not comfortable putting the 1997 in at one time, okay, just hit us up, call the account rep on the phone. With that, okay, what our members are saying, if you're serious about trading, TheoTrade, okay, is by far the best resource out there. If you cannot make dollars, you're not paying attention. They even have a hands-off approach to trading as well if you really don't want to learn to trade on your own. And I put this one in here because this is very much indicative now of the alert service. Okay, their instructors, the best of the business. All right, Catapult alerts. Again, you will receive these, okay, at your mobile device. Obviously, if you see, like, somebody always asks me, like, if I have one of those Razr flip phones, I'm like, yeah, you kind of need a smartphone. But we also are emailing you the trade as well. So we always will send trade alerts, okay, through two separate venues. That basically means we'll go and send a text, but we will also send an email. That's important to us. The portfolio, you'll be able to see all the trades that we do inside of the portfolio. Get ready for text messages. Okay, this is kind of what a text message, trade one, trade two. This is what the text messages look like. Trade one, okay, the Apple spread, trade two, all right, you can see all of it. The text messages come from a 602 area code here in the United States. The text messages in Canada come from a 647. The 602 area code happens to be Phoenix, Arizona. 647 is, I have no idea, Canada. I think you only need like one area code in all of Canada. I'm just kidding. By the way, Tasty, somebody said, do I need a Tasty account? You don't need a Tasty account, but you do well with it. You really you'll do very well with the Tasty account because they give you so much flexibility in what you can do. It's one of the reasons, like I'm not here to promote, okay? We have marketing relationships. With all the major brokerage firms. We do stuff with E-Trade, we do stuff with Tasty Trade, we do stuff with Charles Schwab. Okay, we've had Tradier, okay, over the years, all of them. We do stuff with all of them. I know everybody and every CEO of these firms. So when we go, 20, 25 years back, but Tasty for this particular strategy is bar none. It's by far and away the best. The flexibility in there. So get into Catapult now. We're going to work with you directly. There are 30 spots today on the Catapult riskless deal. Now we do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, okay, Brandon Chapman and that 6-week trader by your side, that literally kicks off next week. Number two, we do this to incentivize you enroll today. Okay, we give you a full money back guarantee. We put 30 spots on the Catapult riskless deal to incentivize you to enroll today. Matters of trade size, we trade live, and we provide unlimited email mentoring. No one else in this business does that, period. Okay, you have a question. You don't have to say that like, my mom's brother's girlfriend has this question about trading and hypothetically, look, okay, almost everyone that works here, okay, has been licensed rep in this business before. We know how to answer questions. Come right out with it. If you got a problem trading, get ahead of it. Email us. Okay. Bounce ideas. That alone is worth the $2,000, period. And I'm dead serious about that. There's no one else in this business that you can talk to. You can't call Chuck anymore. Charles Schwab, remember that? Okay. Talk to Chuck. Chuck don't want to talk to you anymore. And even if you so could get a Chuck on the phone, Chuck isn't going to say anything because Chuck is a 27-year-old, kid with a brokerage license. Okay. Most of which have all kinds of crazy things they're doing now, including call centers out of the United States for US brokerage firms, which blows my mind. We give unlimited email mentoring. You got a trade related question, bounce the idea off us. Okay, that alone is worth $2,000. The riskless offer, we've never done this before with this, okay, both the 5-week mastermind and the 6-week trader by your side. In addition, the monthly calls. In addition, the micro options revolution, it's all included over here. All right, stxoptions.com/cat. By the way, I'm going to read off a couple of names. These are individuals that, again, there are 30 spots on the Catapult riskless deal. Okay, these are individuals. It takes me about 5 to 7 minutes before I can see that you have enrolled. Individuals that have enrolled that we see you. George M. from Tennessee. Christian L. from California, Timothy H. from Colorado, Michael T. from Colorado, Eugene C. from Washington, Lynn W. from Kentucky. Just reading off the first batch of names that I see in here, okay? That leaves us in the neighborhood of about 23, 24 spots open presently, but I can already see a couple of you. By the way, if you guys have enrolled, feel free to chat in over here because takes me about, again, 5 to 7 minutes before I can see it. Feel free to chat in if you've enrolled and I just read your name right out of the chat room over here. That'll save us some time in here. Anyway, stxoptions.com/cat. I'm going to answer some questions here momentarily. Here's another one over here. Okay. Chris over here. Fantastic. So it says 10-4, Don. Okay. You know what's extended family theotrade. Not flattering you. Okay. Keep reiterating that your assembly of talent in the organization is impressive. Okay. The collective drive to continue to learn and to share. Okay. What you learn is quite unique in this particular business. Okay. That you're in. Okay. That's why I keep coming back. Okay. May you be well comes from Fred. Okay. Fantastic. And I really appreciate that one. All right. With that, couple of generalized questions in here, a few generalized questions, and then we'll get to some specifics in here. So, all right, one of the first ones in here. What do you really need? And again, some general questions. Sorry, I'm reading some of the chat right now. Okay. Somebody said, can you start the 6 weeks live, a bit later and not next week? So the 6 week live, they're recorded, and you're going to have direct email access to Brandon Chapman. So you can, everything is recorded that we do here. Everything at STX is recorded. Every detail, okay, is recorded, and you can watch them archived. Okay. We happen to be hosting this presentation today because it literally kicks off next week. Okay, which is it's kind of cool. All right, with that, what do you need to get started? People always ask that question. I used to say you need a laptop and the internet connection. You don't even need a laptop anymore. Okay, all you really need is a phone. You can pretty much do everything we do off a phone. Now, I suggest if you're going to sit there and you're going to, trade a little more actively, watch some of the mentorships, at least have like an iPad. And you don't need like the $1,000 iPad. You need like the Walmart $300 iPad. I think that's important. Okay. So that's critical. That I suggest to you that we have everything you need to get started. And there is something that if there is something that you need, okay, let us know. Shoot us an email. Let's see what we can do. I mean, if there's something missing that you think like, oh, this would be instrumental, we can get you ramped up. Okay. So somebody said, Jeff Kai said, why an iPad? All right. Are you an Android guy? Is that where we're going with this? Are you one of those Android people? Okay. You don't have to have an iPad. You can have, if it does for you, you can have a Chromebook. Does that make you feel better? Sorry. My kids for school have to have like Chromebooks over there. So it's, I'm just saying you might want a slightly bigger screen than this. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Google people get so offended. Anyway, I think an iPad is probably the easiest way though. By the way, I'm crazy about this. I like to trade. I don't have my iPad sitting here. I was just looking over here. I definitely, I keep an emergency like backup computer just in case, but I don't have an iPad sitting here. Costco. Okay. Costco, $900. It's a good deal. Anyway, we have everything you're going to need to get started. Internet connection, any mobile device will work. We're now providing STX options monthly updates so you can follow all the moves that we make. So once a month, we get together. Again, once a month, we're going to get together. And when we get together, okay, make sure that make sure we're good in here. Huh. All right, just making sure we're good because I'm looking at some of the names that are actually coming through. All right. So with this, the monthly updates, it's all the moves we're going to make. So anything that I've put on, anything I've put on, taken off, it's free reign. You can ask all the questions you want at that point. So what I'll do is the sessions that we do, the live updates, they are 90-minute sessions. We spend 30 minutes where I actually kind of give you a little bit of like state of the union on where we stand with catapults, some of the trades in there. Then we spend the better part of 45 minutes to an hour ripping through questions. And it's a pretty packed, no holds barred session. It's all recorded. It's actually kind of one of my favorite things to do though, because we just knock out question after question after question. We only take the questions that pertain though to the larger group. I think you guys will absolutely love it. Okay. It is such a cool thing to do. By the way, I'm just trying to post in here. All right. So with that, sorry, I'm answering questions off the side of my desk at the same time I'm trying to read over here. Trades can be placed within a 24-hour time window. Another thing I want to mention, Catapult, it isn't like some of the other strategies that I've embarked upon. Some other strategies I've embarked upon, like in-out spreads or something, you got to be kind of Johnny on the spot. Like you got to get the trades on. Catapult is a little softer, gentler. Like the Catapult trades, it's not like you put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off. Okay, that's not how they work. The Catapult, okay, you let the trade kind of mature. And in letting it mature, you have like a 24-hour time window. Now, in this market, the market's crazy right now, right? I mean, I don't mind saying that. In fact, we really are on the verge of crazy. Okay. We're not at full blown, like, catastrophic crazy. By the way, did we not, when we started this session today, okay, when I started this session today, I literally said, all we're going to do, sell off, come up, come down, skirt the line throughout the course of the session. Okay. And that's exactly what we've done. Um, Verbatim. So pretty important over there. Anyway, you have a 24-hour time window most of the time. The point being, you don't have to be chained to the computer. You don't have to be chained to your phone. I've had people tell me like I was driving down the highway and you sent out an alert and I pulled over to the side of the road. I'm like, please don't do that. And I'm serious. Don't do that. Don't panic. Okay. You don't, oh, we sent an alert. You don't have to pull off, the side of the highway if you're, out on a golf course or something. I don't know. Okay. Golf. Who's got time? 3.5 hours to do that. Anyway, I'll tell you what. So I'm going back to the island. Okay. I always have like my watch on and my watch actually is cell connection, so I can see alerts and stuff coming through here. But I'll go for a paddle sometimes for like 2 hours. Okay. Oh no, I have to play trade. Catapults are pretty soft. So you're not going to have to be like, Johnny on the spot to be able to get the trade on. Okay. So in the catapult, we're going to aim to provide one trade a week. And it's always subject to market conditions. We may go totally flat for 2 weeks. And what'll happen is I won't do anything for 2 weeks. And then I'll pack two trades on, in a 1-2 punch. By the way, a few more names. Joseph N. from Pennsylvania. Okay. Dennis A. from Utah. Johnny L. from California. Jim C. from California. Daryl P. from Oklahoma. Ryan M. from California. Terry M. from Nevada. John V. from New Jersey. Raymond S. from Florida. Vic L. from Florida. Billy A. from North Carolina. Spencer P. from California. Kenneth S. from Florida. Vincent C. from Michigan. By the way, as I'm reading those names over there, doesn't anybody live anywhere other than California and Florida these days? Come on, people, there's a whole country in the middle. Okay. Got a couple of people from Michigan. I'm okay with Michigan. Wife's from Michigan. So it's good. It's good people. All right. So anyway, with that, oh, somebody said there's a busy signal. Hopefully our phones are not completely overloaded right now. I do apologize for the busy signal. I'm going to find out right now. By the way, a few more names, and we're almost at 30 right now. James M. from Utah, Stephen G. from Wisconsin. Love Wisconsin, Rylander, Wisconsin. I've spent a lot of time up there. Sorry. Patricia J. from South Carolina, Maria F. from New York, and Dave H. from Georgia. So one of my best friends in the world is actually from Rylander, Wisconsin, and head up there quite often. It's good time. All right. With that being said, I'm reading off a couple of names over here. You can email us anytime. You're going to receive a response within 24 hours, including trade-related questions. So, in fact, I want to make something clear. Trade-related questions. I've said this already. I'm going to say it again. Ask them. That's what we're here for. Like, what are you going to say? I've seen everything. It's like a doctor, but in trading. I've seen everything. You're not going to show me anything in your portfolio like I haven't seen before. I've handled, for those of you that don't know this, so I worked at both Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade, and I was on the retail side of the business, meaning that I dealt predominantly with individuals just like you trading from home. I also, for 18 months, I actually ran a portion of TD Ameritrade Institutional. In 2010 and 11, okay, we wanted to introduce trading to registered investment advisors. So I worked with everybody that basically had 300 million or more under assets under management with TD Ameritrade. I worked with them as well. So I've literally seen everything from $10 billion accounts on down to somebody that has 2 grand in their account. So you're not really going to stump us with too many questions over there. One more name just popped in, Jeff J from Nevada. All right, variations of the trades that we're doing can be done inside of an IRA or retirement account. Plain and simple. At STX Options, we can help you get approved for options at several major brokers. One thing about this, okay, and I'm going to tell you, don't worry about the brokerage account. We may say like, hey, after this, if you're not happy there, or like E-Trade won't let you do this, or I was saying earlier, Robinhood is even getting into futures, but there's a wait for some of these firms to even get into it. Tasty's pretty good. Okay. Remember, there's 30 riskless spots available. Get results, take action, enroll for Catapult now. There's no risk to you. So I'm going to pop the page over here and answer a couple of more specific questions if anybody has them. Just trying to wrap up a couple things. And okay, again, that phone number is 623-244-5657. Let's make sure we're good over there. Okay. Sorry, I'm cracking up. In-laws in Wisconsin. Okay, my in-laws are in Michigan, so even though I really like it in Michigan, I apologize. My in-laws are there. I can't go. Okay, can't go. I gotta go to Michigan this summer too. All right, a few more specific questions that had popped up over here. Okay, fantastic. Well, we got most of them in here. Okay, got most of it in here. By the way, some people are in TheoTrade. If you're in TheoTrade, you do not actually have access to Catapult. Catapult is completely separate STX options. Okay, we actually have set this up to be exclusively an alert service here at STX Options. So I wanted to make that clear. I think I've got almost everybody. I'm going to actually stop here in just a moment and answer some of the questions via typing to you guys inside of the chat. But look, I want to thank everybody, not only those that are enrolled, but everybody that is joining me today. Look, I feel pretty strongly, obviously, about this strategy. To everybody that's here, stxoptions.cat, you can actually click down here to download a list. That list is actually basically what that list is. It's this watch list. Added a couple of additionals, like somebody was talking about XLU. I just put that one on the list over here, XRT. Okay, you guys can actually download my entire watch list that's available to you. I want to thank each and every one of you for attending today. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye.